Welcome to today's episode, where we'll be diving into the fascinating world of classical conditioning. This concept might sound a bit technical, but it's something we all experience in our daily lives. From the way we react to certain sounds, to the associations we make with different places and people, classical conditioning plays a crucial role in shaping our behavior and reactions. Let's start with a story you might be familiar with: Pavlov and his dogs. Ivan Pavlov, a Russian physiologist, was studying digestion in dogs when he stumbled upon a remarkable discovery. He noticed that the dogs would start to salivate, not just when they saw food, but also when they saw the lab assistant who usually fed them. Intrigued, Pavlov set up an experiment where he rang a bell every time before feeding the dogs. After a few repetitions, something amazing happened. The dogs began to salivate at the sound of the bell, even when no food was presented. This was the birth of what we now know as classical conditioning. But what exactly is classical conditioning? In simple terms, it's a learning process where a natural response to a stimulus becomes triggered by a new, previously neutral stimulus. In Pavlov's case, the dog's natural response to food, salivation, became triggered by the sound of the bell, a stimulus that previously had no effect on them. Now, you might be wondering, why is this important? Well, classical conditioning is everywhere. It's in the way a certain song can bring back a flood of memories, or how the smell of a perfume can remind you of someone. It even plays a role in more complex behaviors, like our eating habits, emotional reactions, and even how we interact with others. Let's look at another interesting application of classical conditioning in therapy, especially for treating phobias. Therapists often use a technique called systematic desensitization. Here, a person is gradually exposed to the object of their fear in a controlled environment while being taught relaxation techniques. This process helps to unlearn the fear response and replace it with a calmer, more controlled reaction. But classical conditioning isn't just about humans. It has significant implications in understanding animal behavior as well. It helps us understand how animals adapt to their environments, and it's even used in training pets and zoo animals. Now, let's talk about how classical conditioning is used in advertising. Ever wonder why you suddenly crave a burger when you see a fast food commercial? That's classical conditioning at work. Advertisers often pair their products with positive images and sounds, creating an association in your mind. So, the next time you see the product, you're reminded of those positive feelings. As we move into the future, classical conditioning continues to evolve. With advancements in neuroscience, we're beginning to understand more about how our brains form these associations. And in the world of artificial intelligence, classical conditioning principles are being used to develop learning algorithms. So, what does all this mean for us? Understanding classical conditioning gives us a deeper insight into why we behave the way we do. It helps us understand our habits, our fears, and even our preferences. It's a testament to the idea that we are continually shaped by our experiences and the world around us. If you found this topic as fascinating as we do and want to dive even deeper into the world of classical conditioning, check out our book, Beyond the Bell: Unleashing the Power of Classical Conditioning. This book takes you on a comprehensive journey from the foundational experiments of Pavlov to the modern-day applications and implications of classical conditioning. Click on the link in the description to grab your copy and explore the incredible world of classical conditioning in more detail. Thanks for watching, and remember, the way we react and learn is often more connected to our past experiences than we might think.